Welcome back to the Tiny Room Hangar. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with another video. This time I want to talk to you about the Earthrise Wheeljack. I think it's a good figure. I think it's probably one of the better Wheeljacks we've got in the main line. But I do have a problem with my particular copy. You're going to find that problem out right away. Coming up. So before I get into talking any more about this figure, I want to show you my problem. And if you just look at this, you can see that there's a part right here that's part of the windshield, and it's missing right here. So of course I thought maybe it just popped off when I opened the packaging or something, but I did do a little investigation, and I did find out that that part was missing when it was in the package. Now, if you notice, you're going to see this upcoming clip of it in the package before I even opened it, and it was missing then. Now, some people could say, well, it fell off, but if it did fall off, I'd find it somewhere because it would just easily be either in the box or somewhere nearby. But I think this is really what the problem is. The fact that it is now getting manufactured in Vietnam, that might be the issue. We got some QC issues coming out of that, but hey, pay attention to the box. Wheeljack, or as the records call him, Jackie. Here he goes. Look at the side. Look at the back. It's a nice box. And there's the other side with the great artwork. I think that I love this packaging, but look at this. It does show the straps holding them in, and like I think Grapple or one of them had no straps holding them in. It was just the plastic tray insert. So really all over the place with this line. We're going to start in robot mode here. Hopefully you saw my little defect there, but his head turns side to side. It looks good for what it is. And then his torso looks good. There's some paint and paint. The hands swivel. The arms go all the way around. The shoulder. We have this articulation, and it's not quite double hinged at the elbow. We have, for the transformation, causes all of this good waist articulation, and then legs go out almost, well, pretty much to a 90 both ways, almost all the way out, and then swivels there, 90 at the knee, and some ankle tilt and pivot. So pretty decent articulation. Here's the back, and it looks pretty good from the back. Looks pretty clean. I'm pretty happy with the figure overall. Sorta. So let's go ahead and compare this guy to Masterpiece and G1. Obviously a big improvement from G1, and really does carry over quite a bit from the Masterpiece. Like if you look at it and you say, yeah, this does copy quite a bit from Masterpiece. This is what I was talking about with sort of that whole convergence of mainline and Masterpiece, and we're seeing it here. Now obviously the Masterpiece still is better, but way more expensive, like 4 times more expensive. So for 20 bucks and smaller, it's working out pretty good. Here is next to Earthrise Prime and Grapple, so you can kind of see the size differences in these, and you're going from 20 to 30 or 20 to 50. Anyway, yeah, I guess I'm okay with the size. I wished he would have been a little bit bigger, but that's always my wish. I think that's always my wish, that they were just a little bit bigger. But anyway, for 20 bucks, I guess he's not really that bad. Now, I want to compare him to the Ratchet for 2 reasons. Number one, Ratchet is a $20 figure that's bigger. It's like on the bigger side of deluxe, so you get more bang for your buck out of Ratchet for 20 than you do out of Wheeljack for 20. The other thing is, if you notice, they're both white, but Ratchet is a brighter white, and this is more of a cream color. So when you get into seeing kind of his cream color versus Ratchet's bright white, it just really shows the difference, and hopefully it shows up well on camera. So he does have one accessory, only one accessory that comes with him, and it's his shoulder cannon instead of having a shoulder cannon and a gun. So let's turn that shoulder cannon into a gun. Let's have a look at this accessory. There it is. There's not much to it. So let's go ahead and get into the transformation. So setting that aside, I'm going to flip this over and this over, so that way. And then you make the spoiler. We're going to come around, just kind of get the arms out of the way. We can start with the legs, move the feet down, and move them into position. And then this is where you notice that the piece is missing, and you pull it out a bit and slide it into position. Pull this out a bit and slide it into position. But when this one goes into position, you have an actual part that belongs. And we're going to tab all that in, get this front piece of the windshield into place, and so it's ready to go. Now, it's kind of strange because you're going to flip this around, but before you flip that around, you have to pull this down. So that's a real interesting part, how they have so many different pieces moving at the same time. Now we got all this kind of into place, and now we're going to have, as you can see, we've got the rest of it to work on. So with that opened, we're going to fold the head in, we're going to lift a shoulder up, and we're going to move all of this into position, nice and easy. Now there's a tab here, and there's tabs all over this place, so you just got to line them up. This tab's going to go into the slot. Can I get a picture of that slot? Anyway, it goes into the slot, and if it doesn't, it won't line up just right. So get that tabbed in, move over to the other side, shoulder goes into the back, fold it over, fold this over, line everything up, get the tab to tab in, and right here, there's another tab. For some reason, the first side I put in went in just fine, like you didn't even need to notice the tab, but the second side needed everything to line up just right. So now here I am with Mr. Gimpy Wheeljack missing a quarter of his windshield. Well, it's way less than a quarter, but in the end, it still looks good. It's still a nice looking figure, so let's look at it. I'm just still bummed that mine was missing this part. Makes me miss China production. I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I didn't have this problem. I've never had a part like this missing off of a figure ever. Really upset and disappointed about that, and I might even return it, even though I can't find another one anywhere. Darn. Anyway, okay, so this piece goes on top. You can store the gun on top if you want. You could store the gun on the back or kind of wherever. Maybe it'll fit in the hole that's created. I don't know. Sorry to sound a little sad about a missing piece, but anyway, okay, looks good. I mean, overall, it does look pretty good. It's got a lot of paint. A lot of the paint that was in robot mode carried over into this mode, and just, it's not exactly a Lancia Strata. It's not exactly what they say it's supposed to be, but it's close. And we all know that this is going to get remolded into another figure, probably Sunstreaker, but there it is. Let's do some comparisons. All right, so here it is next to the G1, and yes, mine G1 doesn't have a spoiler on it. I don't know if I have an hour and a half of digging to find it, but there is, compared to G1, the G1 looks more like it's supposed to, and I don't even know, is it really supposed to have, is the G1 supposed to have this gold figure in it? Or is that just something I found and threw in when I was a kid? I don't know. Who knows? Here it is compared to Mirage and to Wheelie in the deluxe line. So sort of two racing cars side by side sort of makes sense in a way. I guess it's a little bit shorter, but it has more, a little bit more heft to it. I find it kind of boring in its alt mode. So I'm going to go ahead and just take it back to robot mode so we can look at some more robot modes. So we're going to pull that apart. We're going to disconnect these parts here. And then we can flip the spoilers back to the way they're supposed to be, spin it all the way around, lift his head up into place, lift this piece back up the way it's supposed to go, separate the legs, lift the legs down. If you still have this part here, when you go to lift the legs down, push that down to fit into the leg, fold the feet out, turn the arms to make some sort of sense, and you have him back in his robot mode. And then you can put his gun in him, or you can put this up here. So yeah, easy transformation, smooth and easy, back and forth, no problem whatsoever. So this has been the Earthrise Wheeljack. I'm sorry I got a gimpy copy, missing a part, and it made me kind of sad, and the whole review was kind of sad. But I mean, I don't know if you ever felt like that. Like you were really excited about getting something and it either was broken, missing a piece, didn't live up to your expectations. But overall, if it had that one part on it, I would have loved it. And I still think it's a great design. I think it's a great figure. And for the hundreds of people that said they've had a problem with something since they've switched the factory to Vietnam, I'm there with you now. Let me know if you like this figure. Like, subscribe to our Hangout.